Well, it's back to business as usual. The cons are over for now. Stay tuned for the footage. But let's get back to toy reviewing while we're waiting. This time it is the D-Style GaoGaiGar model kit. Yep, the same one I did that little assembly line video for a while. It's actually been a while thanks to that little trip to Tampa. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. That's where all the assembly for this model was done. To put it simply, it took me about an hour and a half. It's a fairly simple build, no glue required, no real painting required, and it was quite fun and enjoyable. So, moving on from that, we get to the actual meat of the toy, the final completed set of figures. All three Gao machines and Gao himself. Now, for starters, let me drop a quarter in there so you can see these things are fairly small, but, not shockingly small, let's put it that way. They're nicely sized. And we'll start by going over the details of all these guys. First is the liner Gao, which you can see. Very simply painted. It gives off the correct appearance of the blue and light blue bullet train, but, not a whole lot of detail going... Oh, I'm sorry, that's terribly embarrassing. I've got him backwards. Hang on. There we go. As you can see, yeah, it's very simply detailed, but you can tell who it's supposed to be, or what, rather, so that's all that really counts here. It works. Moving on, let's try the Stealth Gao. This one I really like. I didn't expect this much painted detailing in the unassembled kit. You got those stripes on the wings, and the GGG logo, very intricately painted on. No, it's probably a tampo, but whatever. It's there. It looks really good, so no real precision painting needed to get that on there. Everything else is pretty much pitch black, which is kind of annoying. There's no little vents that you can swap on and off like you could with the Super Robot Chogokin I reviewed a while back. On the underside, you have the arms, which are now into thruster engines, and the main from GaoGaiGar mode hanging off the sides. You'll also notice there seems to be a polycap stuck in one of the engines while the other one is blank. Those sockets grip on pretty tightly, so you might, when swapping off hands, and you might get the stem coming out, or you might get the full polycap, one or the other. It doesn't really affect anything except a slight strange look in vehicle mode. Still, it does its job. It's Stealth Gao, pretty easy to see. The one that's probably the most visually different is Drill Gao. It's only because of that super deformed style they went for, being chibied. He is a very, very squat tank with the feet from GaoGaiGar jutting out the back pretty, I don't know. There's not much to say about that, really. It's the one that kind of suffers the most for the downsizing. I mean, he just doesn't have the beef of a drill tank. You can still tell what it's supposed to be. It's just not as fleshed out as the other Gao machines. Moving on to the main course, however, we have Galeon. Oh, he is nice. It's very hard to get because they're so set in there, and it's such a dark plastic, especially the plastic they're behind, but the eyes are translucent green. Yeah, I'm struggling here trying to get on camera. I hope it does, but if it doesn't, just take my word for it. It just comes off really, really dark in person. Articulation Wise, you're looking at 10 points here. The shoulders yeah, I guess those are still shoulders. And, well, I guess these are still elbows too. I'm not up on my animal anatomy. Either way, both legs have 2 points of articulation. So that's 8. You get the waist if you want slight adjustments there. And the jaw opens and closes. Though, the weird way the jaw is molded, it always looks like he's a little bit slack-jawed. That's a little odd. You can definitely tell he could use some paint, especially on the front claws, because the back claws are separate pieces that are in gold plastic. So, yeah, you don't need paint to make this thing come off, but it wouldn't hurt if you did. So, detail-wise, that's all there is, so let's talk about transformation and combining. Now, when you go through this, you will have, well, a couple parts that will be left over from the side that you'll have to deal with. They stay in frame. Oh, and this piece too. Yeah, nowhere for that to really go. So let's go to transformation. And now we have GaoGaiGar, the naked king of braves. As you can see, again, all of the missing details do make him look very stark white, though that's kind of how he looks anyway. Looks more like the copy from Final than me, but oh well. You can see not much has changed in the way of detailing, so I'll give you a close-up of the head. The eyes are also translucent pieces you put in yourself. Very nicely done. There's even a little bit of black paint around them to give the right look. Really, really dig that. And, of course, the G stone at the top. Very nice. Very nice. He is, even for super deformed styling, the proportions are a little weird here because, well, he's going to bulk up a lot here in a minute. He keeps all the same articulation that he did in Galleon mode, too, so he doesn't really do a whole lot, but he can pose if you really, really want him to. You can also see the fists are molded in, so no part swapping needed there. You do have to take off the tail, or else that gets in the way, but otherwise, yeah, does a pretty nice job. The designers also worked in that one combination with Stealth Gao and Drill Gao that he used like one time in the show. So while it's a little bit silly looking, yeah, they included it. I like that thoughtfulness, so points there. And I am not against any added features that they include on a toy like this. So, yeah, it's more to do, which is always good. But this isn't the combination we want to see. We want to see the real thing. Yeah, I cannot say Final Fusion nearly as epically as Guy, so let's just show the transformation. Fully combined, D-Style GaoGaiGar is finally looking right in proportion, or as much as he can when he's in chibi style. But you get my point. He looks a lot more proper this way. Nothing seems too big. It matches the aesthetic they were going for much better. We can see here he's about 4.5 inches tall by my measurement. Not a bad height, and looking very impressive for that height. Let's take a closer look. As we can see, a lot of the paint details have gone over. We can see the mane has been painted in already. Bonus points again to the designers. For the most part, we've seen all of this before, though, again, I can show you the head as a new element. Yeah, it could use a little bit of panel lining around the mouth, but otherwise pretty nice. It retains the eyes from GaoGaiGar, though it's a little bit darker now since the helmet kind of obscures the light. G-stone in the center, nice gold crest, an extra little gem at the top there as well. Very nicely done. It looks very, very awesome. As far as articulation goes here, shoulders upward, outward, and 90 degrees on the elbows, as well as a wrist swivel since they are on ball-jointed polycaps. The hips still work as they did in GaoGaiGar and Galleon modes. Knees, not a whole lot of bend to them, enough for some okay poses. The ankle tilt is there, that's always nice. Waist articulation is very limited and very, very restricted by big Stealth Gao on the back. It also has a ball joint on the neck, so you can get his head moving in different directions as needed. All very, very cool. So he does have plenty that he can do. There are extra accessories as well. He has the swappable hand for the Protect shade for starters. And of course, since it's all polycap design and meant to come off anyway, if you want to fire a broken Magnum, that's as easy as pulling it right off the joint. But for something a little bit more substantial in terms of accessories, I'm going to take off his left hand, and we are going to attach the dividing driver. This one definitely needs a little bit of paint, especially the white blade needs to be silver, but something to do later. These don't actually peg into the hand socket. They peg into the little tiny holes around the hand and forms a cute little... Man, it's hard to... I will admit, I really like this set, but it's hard to take him seriously. He looks like a kid playing with his dad's power tools in this mode. Still, it is his most important accessory to include, so I'm glad they did. It gives him plenty more to do, at least. So, that is that. A little bit stubborn coming off. He also has an extra set of hands, and specifically for Hell and Heaven. To use it, the mane has to come off, both hands have to come out, and it's going to be tricky since I can't get one of the polycaps out of the socket. So, jump cut. There we go. It's always interesting to see how these different versions of GaoGaiGar solve that little bit of problem he has getting his hands together. So, this one does it pretty much. It's kind of a stretch, really. A lot of joints are kind of at their limit just to get him into this position. But it is something that the toy has to be able to do, so I'm thrilled that they figured out some way of doing it. That's pretty much all there is to say about the set. It is a fun model kit to build, and it does do everything GaoGaiGar needs to do. And I am surprised that for its cost and size, it is fully featured. It does pretty much everything you would expect this set of figures and toys to do. And, well, I'll go ahead and say it. It just makes a damn cute robot on your shelf. If you want to pick one up, I got mine at HobbyLink Japan. The link is below for convenience. I mean, look at him. Look, he's got puppy dog eyes. He's begging you. Please, please go buy him. Can you resist that face? Considering he'd probably tear your face off if you don't. Besides that, this is a very worthwhile set, and it's one that won't be alone for long. There is a Star GaoGaiGar version coming out. There's a fully featured Goldie Marg, and you can already go get the King Jader, though from what I've been told, that one really does require paint, so maybe for the little bit more experienced. For those who are pretty new at model building or completely unfamiliar, this is a nice, easy build for you to get into, and it results in a really cool set of toys.